I start this chapter with a quote from Wavy Gravy, who says, "We're all bozos on the bus, so we might as well sit back and enjoy the ride." One of my heroes is the clown activist Wavy Gravy. He's best known for a role that he played in 1969 when he was the master of ceremonies at the Woodstock Festival. Since then, he's been a social activist, a major fundraiser for good causes, a Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavor, an unofficial hospital chaplain, and the founder of a camp for inner city kids. Every 4 years, he campaigns as a candidate for president of the United States under the pseudonym Nobody, making speeches all over the country with slogans like, "Nobody for president," "Nobody's perfect," and "Nobody should have that much power." He's a seriously funny person, and a person who's serious about helping others. Like the best of clowns, wrote a reporter in the Village Voice, Wavy Gravy makes a big fool of himself, as is necessary to make a wiser man of you. He's one of the better people on earth. My all-time favorite Wavyism, as his famous one-liners are called, is a line he repeats whenever he speaks to groups, whether at campaign rallies or clown workshops or in children's hospitals. He says, "We're all bozos on the bus." I have co-opted the phrase because I believe we are all bozos on the bus, contrary to the self-assured image we work so hard to present to each other on a daily basis. We're all half-baked experiments, mistake-prone beings, born without an instruction book into a complex world. None of us are models of perfect behavior. We have all betrayed and been betrayed. We've been known to be egotistical, unreliable, lethargic, and stingy, and each one of us has, at times, awakened in the middle of the night, worrying about everything, from money to kids or terrorism or wrinkled skin or receding hairlines. In other words, we're all bozos on the bus. This, in my opinion, is cause for celebration. If we're all bozos, then for God's sake, we can put down the burden of pretense and get on with being bozos. We can approach the problems that visit bozo-type beings without the usual embarrassment and resistance. It's so much more effective to work on our rough edges with a light and forgiving heart. Imagine how freeing it would be to take a more compassionate and comedic view of the human condition, not as a way to deny our defects, but as a way to welcome them as part of the standard human operating system. Every single person on this bus called Earth hurts. It's when we have shame about our failings that hurt turns into suffering. In our shame, we feel outcast, as if there's another bus somewhere rolling along a smooth road. Its passengers are all thin, healthy, happy, well-dressed, and well-liked people who belong to harmonious families and hold jobs that don't bore or aggravate them, and they never do mean things or goofy things like forget where they parked their car or lose their wallet or say something totally inappropriate. We long to be on that bus with the other normal people, but we're on the bus that says bozo on the front. And we worry that we may be the only passenger on board. This is the illusion that so many of us labor under, that we're alone in our weirdness and our uncertainty, that we may be the most lost person on the highway. Of course, we don't always feel like this. Sometimes a wave of self-forgiveness washes over us, and suddenly we're connected to our fellow humans. Suddenly we belong. It's wonderful to take your place on the bus with the other bozos. It may be the first step to enlightenment, to understand with all of your brain cells that the other bus, that sleek bus with the cool people who know where they're going, is also filled with bozos. Bozos in drag. Bozos with secrets. When we see clearly that every single human being regardless of fame or fortune or age or brains or beauty, shares the same ordinary foibles, a strange thing happens. We begin to cheer up, to loosen up, and we become as buoyant as those people we imagined on the other bus. As we rumble along the potholed road, lost as ever, through the valleys and over the hills, we find ourselves among friends. We sit back and enjoy the ride.